BookTube, it's Angie. So I have an unboxing today. It's a little bit different from what I normally do, as far as like most of my unboxings are from like thrift books or book outlet, Amazon, that kind of thing. I came across a, well, new to me company, I guess, recently. I thought I would give them a try and do a little, kind of unboxing review, I guess. Thought I would throw it out there for you guys, let you know about them, see if it's something you're interested in. So I'll start with a little bit of the backstory behind this. It's not a long story, it's just a while back I was looking for something else on book shopping. I think I was on Thrift Books or something, and this book popped up. This is One Trick Pony by Daniela Brodsky, and this has been on my TBR for quite a while, and I love the cover of this. It's just a simple girl sitting behind a coffee shop window, and I believe in the story the coffee shop is called One Trick Pony, and it's about these different people that work at this coffee shop, what happens in their individual lives and how their lives sort of intersect while they're working together, that kind of thing. It's not very long, it's just like one of those, fluffy reads, I'm sure. But I especially wanted this cover. I think there's one cover that's a little bit different, but for some reason this is one of those books that I can't find a lot of copies of, and the copies I do find are pretty beat up, just rare or good condition or less. So I think I was on Thrift Books, and the best they had was a good, like, ex-library condition at the time, I think. So I was looking around on Amazon, found one that was really cheap that said it was a like new overstock copy, and so I snatched it up. Even though I just ordered it through Amazon Marketplace, when it arrived, it actually had a flyer inside with it for readingwarehouse.com. And I was looking through their flyer and thought that, hey, this might be a cool thing to talk about on my channel, because they have some stuff in here for teachers, and I know there's a number of booktubers that are teachers and homeschool educators, that kind of thing. And so I thought I would mention them and try them out and see how it goes. It's like a 4-page flyer they sent me for the different aspects of their website they have. They have a whole separate website just for teachers called theteachingwarehouse.com. And I will link all these down below so you can check them out for yourself if you're interested. But it says they do a bunch of stuff through like Scholastic, and they do a bunch of discounts on school edition books, and they have a lot of novels and biographies and that kind of thing, but they also have primers and school books, like actual textbooks that you can get for a discounted price. On the Teaching Warehouse flyer, it says, "We are taking 25% off all Scholastic teaching products and offering free shipping." So for any of you teachers out there who are looking to save money on your products that have to come out of pocket, which I know happens sometimes, might be something to look into. And there's also a thing down here that says they're doing a free giveaway. If you like them on Facebook, you'll be entered for a chance to win a $500 gift card for the Teaching Warehouse. And you can enter as many times as you want, they say. So there's that. There's the teachingwarehouse.com. They also have BooksRock.com, which is kind of like their company book club, I think. It looks like you get a monthly flyer of titles offered, and you pick the books you want from that flyer. It says that they offer books from all major publishers, not just a few. We carry, and you can select from your monthly list, books from publishers such as Random House, Penguin, Simon, Houghton Mifflin, and Scholastic. And they also have a reward structure for free books and instructional materials. It says you get a flat 20% off of every order and a credit to be used at the Reading Warehouse. So I guess if you're part of BooksRock.com, you can get a discount to the Reading Warehouse to use on other books, I guess. And it says, unlike our competitors, our rewards will never expire, which is cool. And it says, our book club allows you, the teacher, to select books for your book club based on your upcoming curricular goals. This I thought was kind of cool. It says, get 10 free books with your first BookSwap club book order. We will send you our large Box That Rocks assortment as our gift to you for trying BookSwap. And so I guess you just put in an order with them and you can get a box of 10 free books, which they say is a $75 value. So there's that too. But yeah, they also have audiobooks, DVDs. I think you can pay either through credit card, purchase order. You might be able to have it billed to you even. You can order in bulk discount. You can order in individual books. I just ordered individual books because obviously I don't need bulk books at my house. But I ordered a few from their bargain bin, which can range, their bargain bin books range from anywhere to like 50 cents up to $5. And they have paperbacks and hardbacks. I think you can also arrange to have book fairs through them done at your school, so that might be something to look into. And if you're a librarian, they say they have a low-cost library processing, and it says our processing package includes Mylar jacket, spine label, label protector, barcode, and mark record data download. Orders of 15 books or more ship free. So, yeah, I just thought they were offering a lot of cool stuff that, you guys out there that are in educational situations might enjoy. They also have the individual books you can buy where you don't have to buy them through bulk. So I thought I would try that and see if it's something just readers in general would enjoy and see how their service goes. And that all started just from ordering this one book. So I got a box from them today. Their shipping was pretty fast. I didn't do anything expedited or anything. I just did their standard USPS service. And it still arrived in 2 days, which I thought was great. And they did have a thing on there that said if you're ordering individual books, I think they do have a minimum that you order at least $9.95 worth. I just did the basic shipping, and I think the basic shipping flat rate was like $4.95 or $5.95, something like that. So it's not bad. I did compare some of their prices they had to what they had on the website versus what was offered on like Amazon Marketplace. So I would recommend that you shop. If you see books on there you like, I would compare them to Amazon. It's just good practice to do your research before you actually purchase something. If there weren't a lot of books on Amazon Marketplace that were offering these titles in very good condition or better, then I did find some through them that were really hard to find on Amazon. So yeah, just do your research and see if the price point is right for you, I would say. But yeah, I'll go ahead and unbox this and we'll see what their individual book orders look like. I will just go ahead and say right now, I'm not being sponsored by them at all. This is just something I did for my channel personally. I thought might be a good resource if it works out since like I said, I know a lot of you out there are either teachers in schools or you're in homeschooling situations, and I know teachers and homeschoolers are always looking for places to save money. Oh, that's cool. They send you a free Mousepad with your order. That's neat. It goes all the way, it has a calendar on it that goes all the way up to July 2016. Huh. It's not the prettiest thing, but it's the thought that counts. Okay, so yeah, free mouse pad, bubble wrap, send an invoice like everybody else does. Alright, and so yeah, these are some of the books I found that they seemed like they were limited edition on Amazon, so I went ahead and picked them up through this reading warehouse. So I got Zoo Station by Christiane F. This is a memoir, and I had read that this book was really big in Russia, but I haven't heard too much about it over here, but it sounded pretty interesting. I think it was about this girl in 1970s Berlin, and she was talking, in this book she talks about when she was a teenager, said Christiane starts smoking pot and drinking, and at 13 she's snorting heroin and going to clubs. At 14 she's shooting up before going to school and selling her body in exchange for her next fix. Her rapid descent into heroin addiction and prostitution is shocking, but the longing for acceptance, the boredom, and the thrilling risks that fill out the rest of her existence will be familiar to everyone. Her unfiltered account offers an incredible testimony about temptations, perils, and struggles that pervade teenage life, where every decision seems hugely important because in the end every decision is. So, yeah, it sounded like a pretty powerful story. So I'll try that one out. Found Living Dead Girl by Elizabeth Scott. This says, when Alice was 10, Ray took her away from her family, her friends, and her life. She learned to give up all power, to endure all pain, and she waited for the nightmare to be over. Now Alice is 15, and Ray still has her, but he speaks more and more about her death. He does not know it is what she longs for. She does not know he has something more terrifying than death in mind for her. So this is a crime fiction, I believe. Really short read, but it's blurbed by some recognizable people in the back. Lisa McMahon, who wrote The Wake, I think it's a trilogy, and Chris Crutcher, and Ellen Hopkins blurbed it on the back too. And it's really big print, so this one probably is not gonna take me more than a day to go through. So I tried that one. I found this one, which this was marked out of print in nearly every other site I looked at, so I figured I would grab it. This is History and Literature, the story behind F. Scott Fitzgerald and The Great Gatsby. This is a children's book, and it says, this unique series looks at the history behind some favorite classic novels. Each title explores the relevant historical background, considers how the author's life influenced his or her writing, and offers a literary analysis of the novel. And F. Scott Fitzgerald is on my favorite writers list, so I figured this was one I had to have in my library. Yeah, it just has a bunch of stuff, again, really short, but it talks a lot about what was going on in the period when he wrote Great Gatsby, like movies that were popular at the time, the politics, F. Scott's life in general, what was going on with him while he was writing, the big news moments of the day. So there's a lot of cool stuff in here. They even talk about the Harlem Renaissance in here, which is, if I remember right, is not brought up at all in The Great Gatsby, but it's cool that they covered it as far as the time period. So yeah, I'm excited to go through that one. Found Rats Saw God by Rob Thomas. Not the singer, but the creator of Veronica Mars. And this one sounded interesting because it said, for Steve York, life was good. He had a perfect GPA, a tight circle of friends, and a girl he loved. Now he's flunking, stoned, heartbroken. The only way he'll graduate is if he writes a 100-page paper explaining how he got from point A to point B. In telling the story, Steve will find his way back to who he wants to be. So, oh hey, alright. I was just flipping through this, and it talks about him going back and forth between San Diego and Texas. How funny is that? I actually lived in I grew up in San Diego, and I lived in Texas for 2 years. That was kind of funny. So, yeah, I'm curious to get into that one. And then I believe these other two, let's see. One is a, wow, that is freaking huge. One is a graphic novel and one is a children's book. But I got The Steel Pan Man of Harlem by Colin Bootman. This is a Harlem retelling of the Pied Piper story, which I thought was really cool and I'd never heard of. But when I looked it up, it looked like it had really cool artistic renderings. This book is really colorful. Just give you an idea of it. There's a lot of green in this book, which I'm liking. This just tells the story of the Pied Piper, but in Harlem, which, if you're not familiar, The Pied Piper is a story about this town that's having a problem with rats. In the traditional story, I think it's the mayor he calls the Pied Piper in, and the Pied Piper says, well, I can fix your problem, but he basically says, I'll fix it, but for a price. And he said, fine, just take care of the problem, whatever, we'll pay you whatever you want. And so Pied Piper fixes the problem, but then the mayor tries to back out of paying him, and bad things ensue. That's the general premise of the story. So I had earlier this year had read Russell Brand's retelling of the Pied Piper, so I thought I would add this one to the collection. Got that one, and then the last one I got is this monster book. I had no idea this was going to be this big, but I got The Photographer, Into War-Torn Afghanistan with Doctors Without Borders. This is by a few different people. Let me see if I can find the first names of them. Emmanuel Guibert, Didier Lefebvre, and Frédéric Lemercier. This is translated by Alexis Siegel. This is put out by First Second Books, which is a graphic novel company. And this one was really cheap on a Reading Warehouse, and it was not on Amazon. So I snatched it up. But I liked this because it's sort of a graphic memoir of this guy that actually worked in Afghanistan and did photography and went through the war-torn areas. And let's see if I can get close to this, but it mixes graphic art with his actual photography. I don't know if I can try to see if I can get a good page that shows that. Here, this one's pretty good. Alright, can you all tell that top one there is an actual photograph, and then you have color panels telling the story of this guy traveling through Afghanistan taking these photographs. So I thought this was a really cool idea, and I'm really excited to read this. It sounded amazing. And it's blurbed on the front by Angelina Jolie, and she says it's a breathtaking journey through the best and worst humanity has to offer in times of war. Colette Ucini blurbed it on the back and said, part riveting memoir, part adventure story, the photographer brings home to moving and devastating effect the heavy toll that the Soviet war continues to exact on Afghan people. A glorious achievement. If you watch MSNBC at all, Rachel Maddow says, one of the most amazing publications I have ever read. It's got I wouldn't say it's got a good amount of hype because I haven't heard anything about it, but it's got a lot of good support behind it. See, there's one whole page of just his photography panels. The artwork itself, as far as the panels, they're kind of simple. They're not like overly dramatic, but I don't know, I tend to like the more simply done graphic novels. Although I love good artwork, but yeah, I love the concept behind this. So yeah, it looks like everything looks really amazing and in really good shape. There's remainder marks on some of this stuff, but it's not a big deal to me. I mean, we get remainder marks when we get stuff from Book Outlet, right? I think there was only one in here. I don't remember which one it was, but I think there was one in here I paid $4 for, I think, and then everything else was $3 or under for this whole big stack. So, and then yeah, it was like $4.95 or $5.95 shipping. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, it was less than $15 for this whole big stack with shipping. So yeah, I feel good about this, and I got a lot of good reads in here, I think. So judging from this order, we'll probably check them out again, since I also got the One Trick Pony through them. And judging on this one order, I would recommend them, but I would also recommend you go and, like I said, I'll put the links down below, and you can go research them for yourself and see what you think and try it out yourself, and let me know what you find, if you find anything cool, and if it works out for you. So I hope this video helped. Let me know what you find, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.